that you're here with us? Okay, that wasn't funny.
They just don't want us here, though.
It's almost like they don't even know that they're dead.
Oh my God! Are you scared? Is there a spirit present?
Meet the Girly Ghostbusters. 5 young women obsessed with paranormal activity, hunting down the spirits that haunt our world. What began as simple adventure has evolved into a serious examination of the thin line between life and death.
Ever since we were little, we had always had a fascination with the paranormal, and especially ghosts, especially spirits, and the idea of the afterlife and what happens to you after you die.
People die every day. Like, where do their souls go? Do they go to heaven? Do they go to hell? Like, I find it funny when people think with this straight mind where it's like, you die, you're dead, you're gone.
It's a short ferry ride from downtown Toronto to the Toronto Islands. The girls are prepared to do something they've never done before. Spend the entire night at a haunted location. The Gibraltar Point Lighthouse, complete with its gruesome past.
I've only been at the lighthouse during the daytime. The story goes that the original lighthouse keeper, who was a German chap, was quite adept at brewing beer. Some soldiers from the blockhouse came over to the lighthouse, and they demanded some beer from Mr. Rademüller, who refused. They already appeared to be somewhat drunk. He chased them up the staircase inside the lighthouse, and on the 13th step from the top, they hit him on the head with a big rock, and then they threw him off the top of the lighthouse. To cover up their tracks, they cut up his body, and they buried the pieces around the bottom of the lighthouse. And after a few years, one of the lighthouse keepers started seeing a ghost kind of going around the lighthouse looking for parts of his body.
The lighthouse is maintained as a historical site by the current keeper, Manuel Capel. He himself has experienced phenomena at the lighthouse, but won't discuss it.
I'm Manuel, the keeper. Yeah, strange things happen here sometimes.
He's agreed to let the girls stay the night, but at their own risk. Now, alone with the ghosts of Lake Ontario, the girls prepare to move freely between the living and the dead.
Is lately my intuitions over the past couple months is really heightened, and I've been waking up a lot with and actually seeing people sitting at the end of my bed or talking to me before I go to sleep. I think little things like that happen to everyone. It's just being able to open up your eyes to it.
It's a lot more than just coincidence when it happens over and over and over again. And that's when the evidence is there that something else is out there and it's real. I think it'd be good if we could stay as a group, actually.
The girls will spend the night searching for the spirit of murdered lighthouse keeper John Paul Rademüller. It's a long climb to the top of the lighthouse, and the atmosphere changes as soon as the girls enter the stairwell.
There's a section near the top, Nicole.
Right here. Mine starts here and it goes all the way up.
The story goes that Rademüller was killed on the 13th step from the top, and it is here where the girls experience a chilling shift in energy and a significant drop in temperature.
Right here. Yeah. Yeah.
What step is it? I just skip a step, eh? What step am I on?
Right, the one right underneath the corner.
The investigation begins. They use dowsing rods to detect spirit energy, flash photography to capture any orbs or mists, and a tape recorder to document any EVP occurrence.
Did you hear that?
Mm-hmm.
What was I singing? It was a good voice.
It was a woman. It sounded like a woman. I knew I thought I saw a reflection of something else.
You know what's funny is that I saw something bouncing off that.
I saw like a flashing like facial one.
Yeah, no, I mean the same thing. I saw something bouncing off.
And now I know this person had a shadow, but I thought I saw a shadow. Like something move, right?
The girls are lured higher, up into the lantern room, where Rademüller's body was thrown over the railing outside. Someone, or something, takes control over Dana's crystal pendant, but this relentless spinning indicates the presence of a reluctant spirit. The girls have a knack for finding spirits, reluctant or otherwise. They begin each hunt by researching local history and choose haunted locations throughout southern Ontario that are inhabited by unique and powerful spirits. It was this research that led them to J.P. Rademüller. The murder scene has a strange connection to a story told recently by an island resident. While taking photos of the 13th step, his camera jammed on the 13th exposure. Once developed, the photographer was amazed to find the image tinted blood red. Frustrated by the shifting power in the lantern room, the girls follow the energy down the staircase and outside. They leave the audio recorder on the landing in case the spirit decides to make itself known. The rest of the night becomes a cat and mouse game with multiple spirits. They encounter various levels of energy, and some orbs do appear in subsequent photos. At different times, the girls feel lightheaded or an overwhelming sense of dread.
And I just went back in there. I didn't even go up the stairs, right in there, and I feel like it again. Like whenever I go in there.
Like Jello?
Wobbly, yeah. Kind of weird.
Exhausted, but unable to sleep, the girls make their way back to the lighthouse to reclaim the audio recorder left in the empty stairwell. The results are a strange mix of muffled voices and indecipherable sounds.
Breathing.
The girls are not the first to capture voices or experience shifting spirit energy in the lighthouse, though the ghost of John Rademüller remained elusive to the end. Next, a dark human secret revealed as an adulterous affair ends in murder, and the girls encounter the desperate spirit of the victim.
If she was murdered, could have been because she was pregnant and William didn't want anyone to hear about it.
I want this so bad. Watching them compete. I'm not here to make friends. You're right. I cannot help you.
The Girly Ghostbusters, 2 sisters, 2 cousins, and a best friend, are 5 young women obsessed with paranormal activity. They began hunting for ghosts as a means to escape small-town boredom. But thrill-seeking quickly gave way to their first serious investigation when they began to suspect their own house was haunted.
I've been in the kitchen getting something to eat or something, and then either all of them or the majority of the cupboards in the kitchen, like, wide open. I turned around, and as I was turning around, I saw the door to the buffet close, and sitting on the ground right in front of the door was sort of a stack of 6 or 7 plates that had almost been lifted out of the lifted out of the drawer and then put down on the ground, and the cupboard door closed back.
Bathroom taps turn on and off, and occasionally a small voice can be heard singing. The girls have simply learned to live with the strange events.
It's almost like a childlike presence. Like, yeah, a lot of the stuff that happens in the house is really almost
mischievous.
Yeah, you don't get the feeling that it's there to harm you. You almost get the feeling that it's there to play with you. We started off by just looking at ghosts on the internet and finding out that people actually go out to haunted locations and sort of, with cameras and stuff like that, and just to see if they can get anything.
At just 23, Dana is the senior member and spiritual leader of the Girly Ghostbusters.
Dana started us. She's definitely a motivator. When she's ghost hunting, you just kind of have to leave her alone because she's off in her own little world, and you know that she's communicating by herself. Corey is scientific. She's extremely scientific. I wouldn't say she's skeptical, but she wants to make sure that she has hard proof and that it's not in any way fake or anything, because she doesn't want us to be a part of something like that. Nicole is extremely, I'd say she's the adventurous one out of all of us. She's always the first one to run into a haunted place, and then she's always the first one to run out.
There's no way we can get in there? Yeah, but look how easy that would be for someone to go in.
She always gets our motivation going. She gets us just hyped up about where we're going. And Melissa, she's the newbie. Right now she's just experiencing with things. She's having fun with tools, and she's trying to find her place in the whole thing. I'm the researcher. They tell me that I'm the researcher. I'm also very spiritual, but they put me in charge of finding the history of the haunted locations, and I always give them the information.
The girls approach ghost hunts with sensitivity, but things get messy when they're not able to help. Fiddler's Green is an English pub that once served as the post office for the town of Galt, Ontario. It was also the scene of a grisly series of events at the turn of the 20th century.
Emily worked at the post office. William was the postmaster general. They had an affair going on. When Emily was going to go public on the affair, she was found hanging in the bell tower.
The staff has seen enough to believe her spirit still haunts the upper floors.
We've had liquor bottles coming off the bar behind us and landing in the middle of the floor. Windows opening. We had to screw them shut to keep them closed. And we still go up to the floors and the windows are open with the screws sticking out.
Not the happiest energy that we've all felt. It's quite upsetting and it's quite depressing.
The Girly Ghostbusters are here hoping to communicate with Emily and solve a century-old mystery. But before their first question can even be asked...
Just because I never used the dowsing rods and they've never moved for me ever. It's going to hit your camera.
Spirit energy fills the room, causing the dowsing rods to spin wildly, an indication of things to come. Next, a desperate lover's final act.
Do you know who Emily is? D-E-A-D.
It was a grenade attack. When a crisis happens on the other side of the world...
Romeo's ring. I had that.
Tonight, the Girly Ghostbusters will attempt to communicate with the spirit of Emily, a jilted lover found hanging in the bell tower of the former post office nearly a century ago. They'll use a device some see as little more than a toy, but in the hands of skilled spiritualists becomes a powerful portal to the afterlife.
Can I ask who we're speaking with? How many spirits are in the room with us right now? Do you know who Emily is? D-E-A-D. How do you know Emily's dead? I would really like to know who I'm speaking with right now. Can you do anything besides move the planchette? Do anything besides the rods moving.
Spinning.
I feel like there's something else. Someone else must go ahead.
If there's something pushing?
It's almost like if this is it, it's almost like a fight.
Yeah, it could be someone else
struggle over that. Am I speaking with a female right now? I'm speaking to a male. Does this sun represent anything? What does it represent? L-O-V-E. Love for who?
Could have been a son. Her son? Like, let's say there was something a little bit more sinister about her death, right? What if it had something to do with her being pregnant?
Are you Emily's son?
Yes and no. Maybe there are two things that are fighting to speak here.
Is it possible that the two spirits are intertwined?
only know she was pregnant when she died.
Yes.
It's so sad.
If she was murdered, or if there was something along the lines of that, could have been because she was pregnant and William didn't want anyone to hear about it because he was a prominent man in society.
They were having an affair, and she threatened to go public.
Spirits haunt things for different reasons. That could be the son's reason for haunting it.
Was Emily killed?
By William?
Tonight's answers represent an apparent solution to this decades-old mystery. And the girls hope they've somehow brought some peace to Emily's troubled spirit by shedding light on the tragic circumstances of her death. Next, caught on tape, a desperate plea for help.
What the hell was that?
It looks like they're just about to hook up.
It's time for the Matchmaker Kiss-a-thon.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Make a game of it.
Tonight, the girls are destined for an abandoned estate, infamous for its spirit energy. They don't know it yet, but it will become their scariest ghost hunt ever. Known as the Hermitage, the mansion was devastated by fire on 3 separate occasions. The former owner lived in the ruins and hoped to return the house to its original splendor, but died before work could begin.
I mean, it's scary there, but I don't feel bad scary. I feel like there's a lot of spirits there. Just the feeling of like 100 eyes staring out of the woods at you.
No, the only person who's going to be screaming tonight is me.
The girls have been here before and never know what to expect.
Are you ready? Yep.
The site is treacherous, ringed with crumbling walls and filled with fallen trees and dense growth. They'll split into groups to cover more ground.
There's a really strong spirits here. Okay, something just came running at us through the woods. Oh, I heard that.
Without warning, the woods are suddenly alive with a strange entity. It approaches and then retreats, creating chaos amongst the girls.
It sounded like it was running at us. And it was like, it wasn't like loud, like someone, yeah, like, did you hear that? It's like every time you talk.
I just heard it again.
Fall down the hill and die. Yeah. Jesus Christ, what the hell is this? Did you fucking hear that? Listen. Okay, that wasn't funny. Someone just touched my hair.
It's an active night, as almost every turn produces an encounter with spirit energy. Sensing a powerful presence, Nicole decides to move behind a locked gate.
I'm not sticking my head through there.
I'm so scared.
It's an intrusion that seems to anger the spirits.
Oh my God, like I'm so scared.
There's somebody with us right now. Is there more than one spirit with us? Is there something that you'd like to do to show us that you're here?
Terrified by the aggressive nature of the spirits, the girls call off the hunt around 2 a.m. It's easily their most frightening encounter and results in some eerie images. More haunting, perhaps, is a discovery made the following day, evidence that literally speaks for itself.
What the hell was that?
Yeah, just right back.
There. The one that. Oh,
Oh, don't say that.
Are you serious?
Yeah, play it. Yeah.
Are you serious?
Play it back.
Yes. Oh my God.
For the Girly Ghostbusters, this desperate plea is a powerful reminder of the connection between life on Earth and what fate awaits us.
Now I feel more confident about the afterlife. Before I was actually terrified about the idea, and now I'm a little more comfortable with it. People all say I'm a ghost hunter, and I don't think about it twice.
For me, it sort of made me a more compassionate person, and the idea of understanding why people or spirits do sort of get stuck here, and it's made me a more spiritual person. I think it's made me a more open-minded person.